Hello everyone, welcome back to Unity Codes. Today is episode 11 of our YouTube series, and today we're going to finish up the game. So we're going to do sound, and then we're going to do player animation. Then the game's done. So yeah, at the end of our last video, we did this at the very end, and I know it's not polished or anything, and you can't even see your scores at the end screen or anything. But it was just a simple system to show how easy it is to make a number change depending on what you're doing. So all of this is just starting stuff to help you understand things. So today we're actually first thing going to go into getting the sounds we need. Now you can either use any sounds you have or any sounds you make yourself. Maybe you watched a tutorial on how to make your own sounds for games. It's not too difficult. At the start it's very difficult, but once you get the hang of it, it should be fine. So yeah, you can use any sounds you want, any sounds you maybe find online. But all you can do is in your assets folder, make a folder called resources. And make sure this name is right. Now we're going to make a empty game object, and let's just call it sound manager. And let's give it a tag. It doesn't need a tag, but let's just give it one because it's useful. Sound manager or music, whatever you want to call it. Give it a tag. And drag the sound manager script onto it. Oh, we haven't made a script yet. Sorry about that. Now in your core, make a script. Sound manager. I know it gets confusing when things are the same names. You don't have to keep them the same names. I'm just used to doing things like that, and it's fine for me. But if it gets confusing when you're referencing and stuff, I know it's a little confusing. Alright. And now, we are going to, sorry for the pausing and stuff. It's just a little busy here right now. So, add component, audio source. As you can see, I have a few settings here. Stuff. The only one you really have to worry about for now is volume. Sounds will not be properly set up in this, as in they won't be at the same volume, stuff like that. That is for another time, or if you want to let it in your own time. In future, I am going to remake this series, not remake it, but we're going to redo, well, add on to all of this and polish all of this in the far future, or just make a new platformer with more complicated systems. So yeah, for now, everything's going to be placeholder. This is all just to learn, so you can make your own game afterwards. Now, this is set up. Yeah, we can just leave this how it is for now. And we're actually going to open your browser, type in SFXR online, or just type in the actual link, which is just sfxr.me. Now, this is just really 8-bit retro sounds. And there's also a desktop version you can just install, which has a little bit more features and it's a little bit more polished. I'll be using this one just to make it, the same. All it is I'll quickly go through and click one of every sound. It has a random selection of sounds for every single thingy. So if it's a pickup coin, it'll sound like a retro pickup stuff. A lot of this will not be what you want, but it's a great, free, really fast placeholder sound thing, just like get a feel for things. Or if you're going to make an 8-bit game or a retro game, this is perfect for you. I personally liked it a lot, and just for the sake of this tutorial, we're going to use it because it's really simple, and we just click till you hear a sound and then click save. So I'll play a few, and just a volume warning, if it sounds a little loud, turn on YouTube. It can be loud. I have turned it down a lot, but yeah, so I'll do 3 of everyone. So now you can also mutate things. which will just take that specific sound and just change a few things, but it'll still sound the same. So yeah, as you can see, I know the selection of sounds aren't anything fantastic, but just for the sake of this tutorial, we're going to use it. Now, you go through and find any sounds you want. I just made a little sticky note to get it. So we're going to have a jumping sound, a pick up the coin sound, let's say a death sound as well, so you die. For the death sound, just choose any sound that sounds bad, even just like an explosion sound, anything. And the shoot sound, I know it's going to seem weird because it's this rock. It's a, yeah, it wouldn't make these sounds, but just for the sake of the tutorial, we're going to do it. You don't have to. You can just do the jump if you want. Doing one sound will teach you how to do any sound. It's really simple. I'll show you. So yeah, go through. If you want to do all the sounds, get a sound for all of them. And every time you find a sound you want, just click this button. It'll save the file on your PC. And yeah, it's that simple. So I'll be right back. I'm going to do that myself. And then we get into the rest of the tutorial. So there we go. I got all my sounds, as you can see them down here. I also got a sound for when the projectile hits something. That'll make sound. Now, again, you don't need any of these. You just need one, or whatever file you have. It doesn't matter. And now that we're done here, you can go back to Unity. And in your resources folder, first rename the sounds to what you want them to be, just to make it easier. And then put them into your resource folder. So I'm going to do that real quick, and then you'll see how it looks. So, as you can see, there's all these sounds. Very simple. I just renamed them to what I want them to be. So, of course, you're going to use these names in your actual script. So, whatever you have them as, make sure they're as you want them. And if you want to just rename them to these, you can as well, just to follow along. So, very simple. Nothing complicated. You just drag them in. You don't have to change any settings, nothing. We're going to go on our sound manager, and we're actually going to turn down the volume quite a bit. I'm going to put mine 0.1. Again, these sounds are very loud. But yeah, nothing too complicated. So open your sound manager script, and we're going to get right onto it. So make a public static audio clip, which, of course, whatever names you want it to be. So jump, shoot, coin, bullet, hit, and then die. Just that simple. And now we're going to make a private static audio source, which of course is the component we put onto the game object. And I'm going to make it start. And for every one of these, we're going to do jump equals resources dot load. Oh, that is very wrong. Sorry about that. I should stop pressing tab so much. So dot load, and then audio clip, and then here you just do jump. So as you can see, this is resources, which is the, give my Unity a second to load, please. And here we have our resources folder, which has everything we want. And then of course, you can see the path, it says right there, path is jump. If yours doesn't say path, that's just my editor. Yeah, this means the path. So that is jump as the thing it's trying to access. So for this, we're just going to copy paste this for how many times we have things. So we have 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. So now you can see we have 5. And if you can't tell already, we're just going to rename all of these to what they have to be. So shoot, coin, bullet hit, and die. And whatever you called your sound, rename it to whatever, rename this to whatever that sound's called. So my shoot should just be shoot, my coin should just be coin, my bullet hit should just be bullet hit, and my die should be die. Of course, double check, make sure everything's how it's meant to be, because, you know, if it tries to reference a sound that doesn't even exist, it's not going to work, it's going to break. Alright, so now at the end of the start, we're going to do audio source equals get component audio source, just the usual, like how we do RBG, equals get component rigidbody2D, and we're going to do a public static void play sound, and then string clip, and then switch clip, oh sorry, clip, and then again we're going to do copy pasting a lot, so all we're going to do is case jump, so if the case is jump, then audio source dot play one shot jump, and then break. So it's very simple. If you play a sound, then it's going to check what clip it is, and if the clip is jump, then it's going to play audio source dot play one shot jump. So it's just playing the sound once, and yeah, it's very simple. Then we're just going to paste it a few times, get some errors because we love those, and we're going to rename these to our other stuff. So shoot, coin, bullet hit, die, and then of course change the sounds to what they have to be. So shoot, coin, bullet hit, and die. Very simple. Now this is done. We can use this now. That's set up. So if you go into anything else, like let's say player stats. Now, let's see. Here we go. The player falls out of the terrain and he dies. Now, we're gonna have to do it in here or in our game manager, which I think will be a little easier. No, let's just do it in a player, just to make it simple. So let's do it for the jump first, which should be in player movement. So if input space, we will do sound controller. Oh, sound manager, sorry, I forgot I called it that. Dot play sound, and then whatever sound has to be. So jump, and there we go. So let's head back into Unity. And as always, save your projects. Now let's press play. There is no sound. Oh, give me 1 second. I must have forgot one little step. I have come across my culprit, and that is my English spelling. So, of course, rename the folder to resources of an S if you followed along to my mistake. Yeah, so if you press play now, it should work. And, well, let's see. Yeah. So as you can see, it adds even just a little jump already adds a lot of liveliness to a game. Now, this is the last episode, but I just want to mention something. If you really want to add some easy liveliness to your game, look into post-processing on Unity. There's some very good and easy 2D tutorials, and it adds a lot of liveliness to your game. And another thing is look into Unity particles. Again, something really easy. He'll take maybe like 10 minutes to get a little hand of it, and then you can make something kind of cool. That's just a mention and a suggestion to anyone watching. Now, we can play these sounds for anything now. So of course in here we have all our clips, so shoot. So is our shooting on our player stats? I cannot remember. It's one of the player scripts. Oh wait, sorry. Our player doesn't have shooting. Sorry, I've been working on one of my games lately, and it has player shooting. So, alright, so in shooting trap, there we go. This is the one. Yeah. And here we're gonna make the shooting trap. So let's just go back into our player movement. We're just gonna copy this and then paste it into here, and we're just gonna change this to whatever it has to be. So shoot. Any projectile on trigger. Destroy this on touch. Gonna beforehand do bullet head. The bullet head sounds very bad. It is a very simple. It's bad. This is all just to learn and show how it works. So there we go. Now in our player stats, we have if he dies, does this. I'm not too sure if this is going to repeat a million times. Just prepare your ears for if it does. And I apologize for oh wait, sorry. No. That actually won't play because of course the player's gonna die. So to fix this very easily, we're gonna make a enumerator. Just call it play die. And then we're gonna do you'll return new wait for seconds. Say 0.5 if. It doesn't really matter, you know, player's gonna die either way. And then destroy. Game object. And above this, play clip die. Place this with start coding. Play die. Very simple. Another warning too that I have discovered myself lately. If you've been doing coding for a while, you definitely notice. Do not put an if statement into a enumerator that is while true. So, like our shooting trap in here, do not put an if statement. It can do some, but some will completely break it. Your Unity will crash. I'm just saying, if you have the F shoot of your Unity literally freezing up when you press play and there's no error, nothing, and you have to open your task manager and close it, that is probably your issue. Just check that do not have an if statement and while true. That can be an infinite loop. It will break your Unity. All right. So let's see. Do we have all our sound? We do have jump. We do have shoot. Oh, we don't have coin. Now, gems UI? No, that is not the gem. So yeah, our gems, yes. So if it touches the player, we're going to do the same thing. So our enumerator, destroy, coin, and yield return, wait for seconds. Actually, no, sorry. This is fine. We could just delete this. And in here we can just do coin. Obviously, there is a dumb mistake I just made. It goes before the destroy. Because it's going to destroy before it ever does it. Also in our player stats, we don't actually need this. That was a very dumb mistake of me, sorry. I just remembered the sound doesn't come from this object, it gets played by that other object. So the sound will always be there. I think, in theory, that's how it should work. So this should all work. So let's head back into Unity. And let's see if the sounds work. Alright, so our jumping still works fine. Jump up the platforms. Let's pick up a coin. Hey, that's really nice. And then, oh, well, there is one issue. the player dies. So we do need that. So just Control Z. If you delete all that like I did, your Control Z should just work for it. Now let's try that again. Play. Now if you jump off, it does make the sound a million times a second, but that's okay. Yeah, it's a little buggy, a little broken. Let's just reduce this bit. Let's say 0.1. It just needs a small second just to play the sound. Let's try that again. It might still be broken, but it'll definitely be better. Yeah, that's definitely still broken. Okay. For now, let's just let's copy this. We're gonna get rid of all this. And we're gonna destroy game object. Oh, my editor's still in play mode, sorry. Let's close that real quick. Now, we might just have to leave it. I mean, I can fix this and stuff, but yeah, let's just see real quick. In the game manager, we have game object player. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to quickly check how we can do this without it making that sound a million times a second. So give me one second. I do apologize. I just realized something, and I've actually never done a player die sound. So yeah, it's very easy to figure out. You just watch a simple sound tutorial, and there'll be something. But yeah, I just remembered I've actually never done a player die one because I have that exact issue, and it's just not that much of a bother to me. Yeah, for now, you can either just take it out or leave it in there. Now let's try the other sounds. Where is our, oh, sorry, I forgot I closed my prefabs. So I'm going to close the terrain tab. Alright, and now let's do the shooting trap, which should work in theory. Oof, that is a big shooting trap. I might have to make the player a little bit. What's the size of the player? 1.5. Shooting trap looks a little bit big. Ah, no, it's okay. It is a little bit big, but that's okay. Let's just put it there. Let's press play and see what happens. Yes, that is our wonderful shooting sound. I hope you guys like it as much as I like it. It's pretty funny to me. So yeah. Let's test how it sounds when I hit something. So we're gonna take it, let's just rotate it. There we go. How does it sound when I hit something? Yeah, that works. That's actually not as bad as I thought it'd be. So, sound manager, we can turn this up a little bit, add is a little bit quiet. Go. And yeah, so obviously you can also make menu scrolls and stuff, or anything that you can change the value of the volume in there for players. But yeah, for that, just search up some stuff. You'll find a lot of stuff. Let me get rid of this sticky note. So that's sound done. Very simple. Now we're going to get into the player animation. Now this is going to be, if you haven't done a lot of animating before, this might be a little bit annoying, but if you haven't done any animating before, this should be a breeze. So we're going to make a new clip, animations, call it player. Oh, sorry. No. Going to make a folder, call it player, go into the folder, and then call this idle. So it's just standing still like this. And then we're going to hit record button right there. Now in your spreadsheet, find your player stuff. Now whatever you call these, you can also just see them. So we have player idle 1, player idle 2, and then player idle 3, and player idle 2, and player idle 1. So let's press play and see how this looks. It might look horrible. Oh yeah, that's terrible. Oh man. So the way we do fix that, which I forgot I was meant to do, I'll show you guys. So in the sprite editor, you go in here and you can see the problem. It's because the sprite goes like this. So just take that, make sure it's on the same level as the other ones. This one needs to go a little higher. This one needs to go a little higher as well. Yeah, that should be right. So now, if we press play, yeah, it's a little better. It's still it's broken, but yeah, these animations were not good. I just quickly slapped them together. Yeah, it works. It's not too bad, but yeah, it's not great. So there you go. That's already a simple idle animation. If you press the game now, it's always going to play. So if you run whatever, very cool, very cool. Now let's get into the other animations, which yeah. So we have a player idle, and player jump, and then player run, and then player win. We're going to leave the player win, but we are going to do the jump and run. Now, the run does look horrible. That's a warning right now. So make a new clip, animations, player, and call it run. And let's hit record. So we're going to do run 1, and then run 2. This is going to look very bad. That's just my fair warning. Oh yeah, it's terrible. It's okay though. It's okay. Yeah, we go. It's bad, but it's still better than I expected. Yeah, there we go. That's your horrible running animation if you're using this pack. Sorry about that. And then make a new clip, and let's call it jump. Yeah, I do apologize. If it was a personal project for a game I was working on, of course I'd put in a lot more effort, but it was just a quick example for a series. So yeah, I do apologize. That is my reason why. Hit record and drag and jump. You don't actually have to hit record for stuff like this, but yeah. Alright, so now we have all our phases. You'll see them in here in the animator window, which again, I will show you in case you didn't watch the first video, which showed you how to do your layout stuff. It's just in window, animation, the animation, and the animator. Very simple. And just put them wherever you want. They'll just be like these little tabs. It's just little tabs. So let's sort this a little bit, make it nicer. Put the jump above any state, and then of course idle's right there. It runs above that. So jump's actually going to be from any state, which just means no matter what, if the player does this, it does a jump. Nice. Now transition. So transition, you just right click something, click transition. Yeah, we have done animation on this series before, in case you haven't watched. Yeah, you right click, click transition, and then we're going to make our triggers. One is going to be a jump trigger. The other one is going to be a bool. I don't know why I'm calling it bool. Run. Now on the jump, we put the trigger on there, jump. We're going to set in the has X time settings, put all to 0. Fixed duration off. No, there we go. Just like that. Put everything on 0 and then close it. And then the jump, double click it, loop time off. And then in here, this has no exit time. Make everything 0, no exit time. Oh, yes it does, sorry. But just make it all 0. In your idle, of course the arrow going to the run, change that to run. So if run is true, do this, which again, everything on 0, exit time off, double click your run, leave the loop time on, click on the next arrow, everything on 0, turn off physics time, and then run false. Go back to that. So that is that setup. It should be. I haven't done specifically this setup for a while, so I'm sorry, this might not work first try, but bear with me. Let's see if it works. So we go into our player stats. First we check out player if it has everything. Yes, it does. It has the animator, everything it needs. So now let's go in here. We're going to do it in the player stats. Let's do it in movement. We could do it in movement instead, since it makes more sense. So in here, we're going to make a private animator anim. And then in the start, we do anim equals component animator. Very simple. And then, of course, in your jump, sorry, my brain. I'm taking a second here. The anim dot set trigger no, I'm sorry about that. We go back into Unity. We're going to change the jump and we're going to make it a bool. So delete this trigger and make a bool. Call it jump. Put it on jump and then true. Yep. And then false. X time off. Yeah, that's why I got confused about the X time. Yeah. So, and leave. No, there we go. This should work. If it doesn't, we're going to tick loop and it should work. Yeah, we're going to go onto our player jump zone. Sorry about this. I know it's a little iffy. I am just very rusty when it comes to doing specifically this. I do a lot of animation stuff, but not specifically player stuff anymore. I do weird, different things like sci-fi stuff, space stuff, making robot stuff, and they don't really have the same animation functions as a player does. So, of course, we're going to do on trigger exit, we're going to do anim dot set bool jump dot. Ooh, give me 1 second. Sorry about that. So I just went into one of my other projects and I just checked. There we go. This should work. So yeah, all it's doing is when it leaves the ground, set bool jump to true. And we're just going to copy this, paste it here, and false. Very simple. We can check if this works. I am not sure if it's going to. I am hoping it will. I know it doesn't really sound great when it's the person you're watching. Oh. So, some reason that is not working as it should. Give me 1 second. Now this is where you always look at your errors. I wasn't noticing it at first. Very simple issue. On our player, the jump zone is actually not on the player. So, yeah, my mistake. I am used to the jump zone actually just being a part of the player. So, we're going to change this to, well, we're just going to grab it and change this to player dot get component animator. So, well, we can actually, no, yeah. So, there we go. This should work, hopefully. Change this to false. So now it's all it's doing is taking the player, which we already have set up from before, and it's going to say get component animator, and then set bool jump false. So yeah, we're just not going to use anim here. don't need it. And let's head back into Unity. Now let's see if it works, which it hopefully should. And let's jump. There we go. So yeah, I know it looks a little bit weird that of course the eyes are always looking in the middle. I should have changed it so the eyes are looking to whatever side's facing. But at least the shirt changes so we can see he's moving right, he's moving left of the shirt. So yeah, that's a simple one of those. And now in the movement, in the update, we can just do if movement x, movement x is not equal to 0. So whenever it's not 0, we just do anim dot set trigger, set ball, run, true. And then we're gonna do else if movement x is equal to 0. Then, anim dot set ball, run to false. This might not work perfectly, but let's just see real quick. I don't normally do it that way. Man, I keep forgetting my my game on play. Oh yeah, that works wonderfully. So yeah, as you can see, it's a little bit broken. If you jump and then move, it does do a little slide if you keep holding in that direction. But yeah, that is a bug for the future. This is my tutorial done. That is the series done for now. So I know some things are a little bit, as you can say, all over the place. But yeah, I hope this helped a lot for beginners. This is only for beginners. I myself am pretty much new to Unity as well. I've only been doing it for, let's say, 3 months. So yeah, I hope it helped. If you were brand new, a lot of these things should have helped. I'd say the most useful thing is, of course, the animations. You can use animations for a lot of things. A lot of things you don't realize as well. We'll get into that in future. Animating is a very useful tool, not just for visuals, also for how your game functions. I'd recommend using animating a lot and getting used to it. And of course, the sounds. If you new, you'd probably think, oh, sounds scary. That was me when I started. I was like, oh man, sounds are probably complicated. No, it's very simple. So you just have all these. Make sure you have a file called resources like this. Play it. And of course, UI as well. Not hard to do. All the UI is it takes the game object, it gets the component game manager, and then .gems, which is just a float. So it's just changing the text to, yeah. So this is just the name of the variable, which actually is just text mesh pro. And then the dot text, which is a function of this, is what the value of the text is changed to whatever value you put in here. So yeah, those are your useful mechanics, especially as a starter, to make things simple. We have referencing, which is very useful, of course. Game object that find object of tag. This is one of my most favorite and most used lines right here. Find object of tag. And yeah, again, recommendation. Look up post-processing. It's very useful, very good. Even as 2D, which I know it might be surprising, but post-processing helps to liven up your game. And of course, particle effects. Now, I'll actually show you an example of one of my games. Something I forgot to mention is when you make a new level, so in that system, you know, we had level 1, levels, whatever. All you do is you just copy the things from level 1 that you need. So of course, you just take everything like the game manager, all that, you can shift click top to bottom, copy it in, and then just work from there. Everything should work. There is nothing special about a specific scene. This is actually the first game I made in Unity, which is on the Play Store. Yeah, this is a very all over the place horrible. As you can see, we actually have post-processing in here. Post-processing, sorry. And I just wanted to give an example of how it's useful. Now, the controls are messed up. I actually lost the latest version that I worked on for a while, which had joystick controls, which it does on the mobile version. If you do download it, it's on the Play Store, not on the App Store. Sorry, Apple users. I'll make a tutorial on future how to do stuff like that as well, like uploading your game to a store and setting it up. Yeah, as you can see, if I press play, let me just make sure it's quiet real quick. Because if I do remember right, yeah, the sound effects in this game is very loud. I did not set those up properly. It does have a mute button though. So we're going to press play. Let's maximize it. And you'll see why post-processing is nice to have. So yeah, as you can see, that glow effect, that is not like a sprite. That is actually an effect just in Unity using post-processing. And the little trail following the bullets you can see that are fading away, that is with the particles. It's the same thing of these stingray-looking spaceship things flying by, the black shadows. Those are just Unity particle system as well. So of course, useful things like that. And just, there's the same score thing going up constantly. And there's the normal animation stuff. So as you can see, just a little bit of post-processing makes all the difference. So this is just a normal, very simple pixelated 2D game, but with the post-processing it looks much more beautiful and much more lively, and you get nice effects. So the screen looks a little bit darker and everything stands out nicely. One thing you notice too is the screen shake. As you can see, the screen shakes a little bit up and down. I will make tutorials on that in future as well. It's very simple to do. All you do is any animation is you make the camera move around a little bit in random directions. And yeah, there's my mini screen. All this stuff. So yeah, that was just a quick example and a plug of my own game. If you want to try it out, it is a little bit better on mobile because new controls and things got adjusted, like player size and stuff. But yeah, I'm currently working on remaking this game completely from scratch, just to make the coding easier because this is very messy all over the place. This was the first game I made, so yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial I made. It was specifically those things like sound, referencing, all of those stuff, because I didn't know about that and didn't get spaghetti code. Now, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the very near future. Now I'm gonna chill for a bit and work on my games. But yeah, I'll catch you all in the next one, and enjoy.